Start the spring season off right with a new pair of Tecovas Western boots. Handcrafted and over 200 steps from genuine leather, they're built to last and feel broken in the moment you put them on. From cowhide to exotic leathers, Tecovas blends timeless style with all-day comfort. Pair them with premium denim, Western shirts, and accessories for an effortless, polished look. Shop quality Western goods in-store or online at tecovas.com.
All right, y'all. Before we dive in, a quick heads up.
This show is raw, real, and definitely not rated PG.
We're talking about adult themes, sexual content, and the kind of stuff you probably don't want blasting through your speakers at work or around your kids.
So grab some headphones, pour your drink of choice, and get comfy.
Oh, and just so we're clear, we are not licensed therapists, counselors, or sex coaches. Sex coaches.
Sex coaches.
Not sex couches.
We're just a couple of people sharing our lives, experiences, and sexy adventures. An ethical non-monogamy. So with that, pull up a chair and enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beyond Monogamy. I'm Adam.
And I'm Pris. And on today's Quickie, we're talking about something that hits really close to home for us because we were literally this couple once. We got a message from a listener who found us on TikTok, and honestly, it might be one of the best questions we've ever gotten. We're talking about how to prepare as a couple for your first lifestyle event when one of you is super excited and the other, let's just say, cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, which in lifestyle terms means she's into it, and she doesn't want to fully admit that yet. I'm just saying what we're all thinking. Now, before we read this message, everything you need from us lives at beyond-monogamy.com. Our episodes, our blogs, our events tab, and our completely anonymous confessional if you've got a story that you need to get off your chest, like this person that we're talking about in this show. If you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, drop us a review. It genuinely helps more people find the show. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read this
All right.
as best as I can.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and really channel this person.
Okay.
Okay?
Go.
Here we go.
All right.
Hello, Adam and Pris. I have been wanting to get into the lifestyle for about 3 years. This past winter, I finally got the courage to talk to my wife about my kinks and how I feel the lifestyle could provide an opportunity to live out some of those experiences, particularly public sex or others watching us. Initially, I was shot down, but I came back to the topic when I felt it was appropriate. I explained how her reaction hurt my feelings, and that opened the conversation again. After some more talking, I finally got it out of her that she was actually fantasizing about very similar scenes. She agreed that maybe a trip to a club or a resort would be fun and sexy. However, and there is always a however, we've been married 20 years, and I'm picking up on some concerns she has about other women or couples. We joined a local organization and set our sights on a Halloween hotel takeover as our first event. She's worried about unwanted attention. I, on the other hand, get aroused by other men looking at her, but she mainly wants attention from me. I've reassured her that nobody expects us to play and that anyone who crosses consent lines will get removed. We've been watching porn together to get into the right headspace, but what exercises can we do as a couple to ease fears and tension? I want her to be comfortable accepting compliments in front of me because she's drop dead gorgeous and has the body to match. She listens to the podcast. Thanks to the both of you. You make my work days fly by. Thank you for the compliment.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate that.
Oof.
Yeah. So first off, can we just appreciate this man for a second because he didn't pout.
No.
He didn't pressure her.
I was going to say.
That's a beautiful thing because
Yeah.
I have pouted.
He didn't shut down.
I've done it early on.
Yes.
If I didn't get my way.
Yes.
I remember very particularly there was somebody that I was interested in and you were like, okay, I'm going to set it up. And we had an opportunity and it didn't get set up. And I remember just being so upset. And
there was a few times.
I was like, you just don't want me to have my experiences.
Yeah. I think, and I'm glad that he did not come off that way, at least on his letter. Yeah, we had a few times where you pouted.
We
So
did. I
yeah.
mean, I didn't so that was the hard part for me going into this was that you had already had
Mhm.
experiences. Granted, they were bad experiences, but you had these experiences of which I did not.
Mhm.
And so anytime I felt like I had to rely on you to set things up because
Yeah.
I was not very confident in doing so,
Yeah.
and I didn't really understand the rules of everything. So it was just easier to have you set things up.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, then I just felt like it was you cock blocking,
Yeah.
and I'd get upset,
Yes.
and I'd be like, "God."
And I'm glad that I mean, I'm kind of happy that he came out and he did not like he told her he mentioned it once and then he said that he came out her or he came and they talked again and
Yeah,
he
the
explained that
fact that
his feelings were hurt.
his feelings were
Yeah.
hurt, I thought that was
Yeah.
really cool because,
Yeah.
that means that they have a really good
Communication,
communication
which is
already.
key. That is key to the
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Oh my gosh, you can't
Yeah.
do it
And she
without.
was already fantasizing about the same things.
I thought that was pretty
I
cool.
think so too.
That's
Yeah.
kind of that's a win.
Yeah.
That's definitely a win because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, we're talking about this and we're on the same page. You've been thinking about this too.
Yeah.
So this is something that we can explore together, especially after 20 years,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
That's
know?
a so hmm. I can't answer. I don't know what kind of woman she is. So I understand, and I'm just gonna give you my opinion or my stance on this. I understand you said that in your letter that she or your email that she has some standoffish or not standoffish, but has some
She has
concerns about women
concerns
and
and
couples and the
boundary
and
breaking
yeah.
and that sort of thing.
So usually unknown lady, let me tell you. Usually, men will not make advances towards you in the lifestyle unless they have seen you open to that. We have tons of friends in the lifestyle, and it's a very rare occasion where a man makes an advance towards me. And I've been in this lifestyle for 15 years.
Let's not forget all of the other things that have come up. So, yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot of men that have broken
There's
boundaries with
women.
you.
Yeah.
There have been women.
Women, yeah.
And that is a thing, and
Yeah.
it's definitely worth talking about.
And I wonder, is her concern so for me, my concern was, I don't really like a lot of men, so I didn't want them coming at me, and I really think a lot of women are shady sometimes. So those were my concerns. For us, I have not had either of those 2 things. Shady women do not approach us, and that's just the way I don't know what it is. We have that magnet or that
You know,
demagnetizing thing.
yeah,
The
I think that
shady
we
women,
come off very open and honest
yeah,
and very genuine, and I feel like shady people tend to stay away from
stay
very
away.
honest people because we'll call you
But
out,
that was my fear.
you know?
My fear was shady women.
Yeah.
And that's just going back to the poly thing.
And even
And
still,
even
you have still mentioned,
mhm.
like, I trust you, I just don't trust the women that are
Yeah,
around you.
and I don't, right? But I trust him that he is going to put a stop to whatever happens. And couples, I mean, you get your own vibe. So what I think you should do is maybe go to a few events, like meet and greets.
Yeah, you mean, a few, kinda like vanilla setting events. So,
Yeah.
like, stuff that they hold in bars and things like
Yeah.
that where you don't have to worry about playing. You don't have to worry about somebody really making a move on you because
There
it's in a vanilla setting.
yeah, yeah. I mean, although it does happen to in our groups of friends, but I mean,
I think it could happen
it
anywhere, really.
can. I think that's a really good y'all's communication seems to be on point.
The concerns about boundaries and other people violating those boundaries, I mean, let's be real. It It will happen. I
Mhm.
mean, it has happened to anybody who has ever even attempted to be in this lifestyle for a year or more. You will run across it, and
Yes,
some people don't even realize, but it does happen.
it does.
And it's not always on purpose.
Yeah.
Sometimes the communication is poor and things are misread. Maybe somebody got a little too sauced and
Y
their inhibitions went way too low.
yeah.
Now, that to me is not the greatest of excuse, but I understand it. Like I said, we've had Not so many issues with men
No.
crossing the lines, but more so women, and
Mhm.
women crossing the lines with me, and women crossing the
Lines
lines with
with
her.
yeah.
It happens.
Well, they're crossing the lines, not real do they cross the lines with you? You like to get
Well, they
kissed.
used to.
Oh, okay.
They used to as far as you were
As
concerned,
far as I was
because they were
concerned,
doing
yeah.
it without consent. Yeah, I dug it, and yeah, I didn't have a problem with it,
Yeah.
but you did.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So technically, it was still crossing a boundary
Right.
for one of us.
Yeah.
But where they really cross the boundaries is with you. Like
Yes.
everybody seems to think, well, not everybody, but a lot of people seem to think that you're just fair game because you're a
Right.
bisexual woman.
Yeah. And
And
there's only really a
yeah,
handful of women that I'm okay with them at any point coming and touching me. Like that's a but I make that very clear to them. So I would definitely try to our community has a lot of like events. They have meet and
hmm,
greets at vanilla places.
yeah,
They also have like bingos, stuff like that. So find yourself an area or a place that you can at least go and meet potential friends and you get to know them, you'll feel their vibe, you'll get to see how they act in a vanilla setting because
yeah. You know, when you're
lifestylers act a way different in vanilla than they do in
They can,
clubs.
they can. My thing is if you're new to that community and say you go to a meet and greet or something,
Mhm.
make at least one friend. Make
Yeah,
at least one friend, hold on to them, talk to them, learn
yeah.
about them, and maybe plan on seeing each other at the next event,
It is
that sort of thing. And y'all can meet people together,
yes.
you know,
It's nerve-wracking. I do not get anxiety anymore, but I do remember when we would go to
the
a
different
meet
meet
and
and greets.
greets,
Yeah.
or even when we first started and we went to, like, the house parties, and
Oy,
we didn't know
yeah.
a lot of people, like you did from Facebook or whatever, but I wasn't really involved in a lot of those conversations until, like
And I really didn't know a lot of these people
yeah,
very well.
and we kinda just jumped in, and so it is nerve-wracking, so definitely we should have done meet and greets. I don't even know if there was any back then.
There were, we weren't
Privy
very
to them? Like
privy to them,
yeah,
like, we wouldn't really pay attention to them. We
yeah,
weren't in the same circles very much, you
yeah,
know? I know when we first got started, my big complaint was nobody invites us to stuff. We
yes,
don't ever get invited to stuff,
yes,
and that's a thing that you'll notice a
yes,
lot of people will invite people that they know, right?
yes.
So how do you get invited to stuff? And it kind of is disheartening because it's like, "Ugh,
We
when
used
are
to
we
have a
gonna get
lot of
invited?"
FOMO. Yeah, we
Yeah.
used to have a lot of FOMO, and
Then we started realizing, okay, you know what is it is best to know the people that you
yes,
invite. So then you have to kind of inch your way into that door and get
yeah,
to know people little bit by little bit. And as they get to know you, they're like, "Hey, why don't you friend me on Facebook? Hey,
yeah,
let's have a text conversation. Oh, by the way, we're throwing a house party in 2 weeks. You guys should come." And then before you know it, you're at the house party. You meet five
yeah,
other people who throw house parties,
and
and then you're getting around. You know.
and you can make some really good friends that have the same interests as you. So doesn't always have to be lifestyle-ish.
Now, what caught me off guard was that they're looking for their very first event, and their
Yeah,
very first event is gonna
isn't
be a hotel. My goodness, man.
y'all got some gots.
I'm not gonna say it's a bad idea, but it's the equivalent of jumping off into the deep end of the pool
Yeah,
when you don't know how to swim in
yes.
hopes that you're just gonna float and you'll be
That's
okay.
yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, you have until October. It's a Halloween party.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
have all this time to try and get yourself out there.
Right. Now, the only reason why hotel takeovers are a bit, and I wouldn't say advanced, but a bit shakier than most things to start off with is because, there's a lot happening.
It's a lot happening.
And as a new person, you're going to feel compelled to have to take part in every single thing. But if you go in with the mentality of, I'm not going to play with anybody. We
Mhm,
have a hotel room to ourselves.
mhm.
This is us doing this together. We're going to scope things out. We're going to do things as we talk about them.
Yeah.
Well, then you're 20 steps ahead of the game and you're going to be just fine. Um,
But wait, what did you say? You're compelled to play with them? Or what did you say you're compelled
yeah.
to
So, like, as a new person going into a big event like a hotel
Mhm.
takeover, you feel like you have to take part in certain events. You feel like maybe there's going to be more pressure at certain events to do certain things to keep up with
I I
everybody. You know what I'm
totally
saying?
I totally think opposite.
What?
Yeah. I
Really?
I don't yeah. I don't think no, at all.
How do you figure?
I mean, you go in and people are all over the place. and it's very rare that people are playing. This one that we went to last time, yeah, people were playing, but you just watch and you walk out.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much how they all are.
Yeah, but
That's how the
do you
last
feel
one
did
was
you ever
before that.
feel pressure, like, even the
I
first.
always felt pressure to keep up with
Really?
everybody. Absolutely. Yeah,
Wow.
100%.
I never.
Every single time we've been at a hotel takeover, I have felt horrible at the fact that I didn't play with anybody. As a matter of fact, this last time, I didn't feel bad about that at all because we got around.
Yeah.
But the ones before that, no, we didn't. And
No.
I was very much like, wow, this was an unsuccessful
Oh,
takeover.
you see, opposite. I thought it was very successful because we didn't.
Well, see, that's why I'm voicing that is that
Yeah,
you
no,
don't have to
it's
feel
2
that way.
different
And
no.
she's right.
Yeah,
You don't have to feel that way.
yeah.
That's but the way I felt is the way most people who are new feel. They feel the pressures of having to keep up with
Ah,
everybody else. If they're all in the pool and everybody's wearing their swimsuits and then all of a sudden everybody starts taking off their swimsuits, you got to know that you're okay. You don't have to do it if you don't
yes,
want to.
yes.
That sort of thing.
Go in with that mentality. You don't have to play with anybody. You don't owe anybody an explanation. A hi and a bye is perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
And since you guys are so good with your communication as is, I
Mhm.
really don't feel like it would be too much of a problem as long as you prepared ahead of time.
Yeah.
Watch all of our hotel takeover shows and absorb that content. And I guarantee you, you guys are going to be set.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun, but that's a big jump.
It
I
is,
mean, it can, just you have a hotel room. The second one we went to, we had a hotel room and we stayed in the hotel room the
we did.
whole time.
We
We
did.
did our show. We stayed in the hotel. That was our little getaway.
Yeah.
Um, but you have a lot of different opportunities to try different things. But I would say grab some friends. Try to see if you can like break into that community a little more and see the people that you're supposed to see at that hotel takeover beforehand.
Now, I will say, on the plus side, the hotel takeover, if you go to it, you will be immersed in your
Yes.
community after that. Because
Yes.
if you talk to everybody, forget playing. If you just talk to everybody and you make those contacts, by the time you leave there, I guarantee you people are going to be blowing up your social medias
Yes.
going, "Hey, we saw you there and
Mhm.
let's be friends." It's going to happen
Yeah.
because there's a camaraderie that's established during that whole
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it's not like going to the club.
Yeah. No, it is nothing like going to the club.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the only thing he also mentioned that she doesn't really care for compliments.
Compliments. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I am barely getting used to compliments. It took me a while just because sometimes I don't think they're sincere. And I just think, oh, you're just telling me I'm pretty and hot because you want to get in my pants. That's just my thoughts.
Well, so I never
But that's
thought
the plan.
compliments coming to me were sincere.
Yeah.
I just always thought that they were being nice so that they could get into your pants.
Yeah.
But I
That's
mean,
not the case.
I've finally realized just the same as I'm sure you have that not everybody is giving you a line.
No, not everybody is giving you a line.
Yeah.
And what are we here for? We're here for sex. Yeah. They're trying to get in my pants. But I do feel the compliments. I am now a little bit more accepting of the compliments. I understand what you mean is that you'd rather just have them from your husband, but if you're smoking hot, you're going to get compliments and you just take them. Just be like, okay, thank you. Just because they give you a compliment doesn't necessarily mean they want to get in your pants.
It is good advice in trying to learn how to take a compliment in
Yes.
just a passive way, in
Yes.
just a hey,
Because you will get
thanks.
them.
So that was something that I had to learn how to do because I've never been complimented before. And then
Yeah.
when we got into this whole circle here, this community, we started getting a lot of compliments. And me particularly, I was getting a lot
Yeah.
of compliments and I didn't know how to take it. I felt like I was so awkward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
then I just learned to anytime I got a compliment to just smile and go, "Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
That's really nice." And
Yeah.
then just move on.
Yeah.
You know, like
And
it sounds simple, but I mean, it's not that simple sometimes.
yeah. Also, when it's a couple, one of y'all always will be a little louder than the other. One always stands out more. One is always the more looser of the bunch of the couple.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. And that can be a little hard because one of y'all's gonna disappear. Not disappear in like really, but one of y'all's just gonna be like behind, like for us, right? In the beginning, you were more talkative
Yeah,
and
and
I was kind of just be
you
behind
were
you.
always just behind me.
Yeah, I was a
I
social
was doing
butterfly.
all the talking.
I was a social butterfly at one point, and then Adam became an introvert, and I had to stay home. And then I became an introvert,
Yeah, I
and
drug her
so
down.
we opposites. Now I'm starting to get better at opening up and being more talkative. But yeah, I just
Well,
kind of
really
felt,
since the podcast. So,
yeah,
before the podcast,
I didn't want to talk
she
to
always
anybody.
felt like she didn't have an identity. She was just
Yes,
here kind
I
of
was always
behind
Adam's.
me.
Yeah, I was always Adam's wife.
And then when we started the podcast, I was like, "Look, dude, you are an
Mhm.
individual and you need to let people know about you.
Yeah,
And you need to be able to have conversations with people individually without me." And now, forget it.
yeah.
Center stage.
I'm a little butterfly, so
Center stage over here,
yeah.
pushing me off to the side.
Hi, I don't push you off to the side
I didn't
unless you want to
realize
watch. Then I do.
one of these days is just gonna be Beyond Monogamy with Pris and the
I
guy
would
who carries
never call
Pris's
it beyond
bags.
monogamy with Pris.
It doesn't have a good ring.
That's not a good ring.
No, you're
I
right.
would not even put that name.
Okay, good.
I think another good some little bit of advice is before you go to events, have a really deep conversation on what your expectations are because they're not going to happen.
Yeah, that's a really good
But like just
point.
talk about them, hey, I saw so and so. Get your rules and your boundaries set, like know what
Talk
you
about what your
want.
goals are. Like, so what's the goal of this whole event? Like, what are we wanting to get what are we wanting to have when we leave
Yeah,
here?
do we want to walk out with at least knowing two people? Maybe we set up a dinner.
Are we gonna get naked in front of people? Like, what's
Yes.
the furthest we're willing to go
Yeah.
sexually? Like, what do we feel comfortable with?
Yeah.
Is that gonna be something in the moment?
Yeah.
Oh, also, safe word.
Safe word.
Apparently,
Yeah.
safe word.
Yes.
Make sure you got
And
that.
some good advice, or not just a little tidbit, consent is huge.
Yes.
Huge, huge in the lifestyle. And that's why I say it's a very rare thing that someone approaches me in like unwanted touching. Consent. If someone touches you, you just tell them, excuse me, stop. Your husband's there with you. So don't be too scared. Like it's a fun environment to just let loose and be like, wow, I've never had my tits out at the pool,
Yeah. Yeah.
or I've never been fully naked in front of 50 people.
And I mean, let's understand what hesitation really is. Hesitation is a lack of feeling
It
safe.
is.
If
Yes.
you're not going to
Yes.
feel safe, then you're going to hesitate on what you want to do.
Yes.
So this is really where husbands need to listen very well, because
Mhm.
if your partner is hesitating and you can tell by the look on their face that they look
Yeah.
uncomfortable, and you can feel certain ways, like my guy here they've been together 20 years, they've been married
Yeah.
20 years. You know her. If
Yes.
there's any hesitation, don't push it. You know what I mean? Just really make sure and establish that safety, because without it,
Mhm.
you won't be able to go any further.
Yeah.
So continue that safety, take it little baby steps
And
further and further if you
that's a
can.
really good that's a really good thing. Also, paint your scenarios. Like, hey, we're going to the club tonight.
Yeah.
So and so might be there. Do we want to do a full swap? What are we looking at?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but at least he's preparing me and I'm preparing him.
We've driven to a meet and greet, and during the drive, she's looked at me and gone, "Okay, so and so is going to be there. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't make out with her."
Yes.
Okay, you
Yes.
got it.
Um,
I mean, the problem is that we can't read each other's
no.
minds, and y'all have the same problem, I'm
Yeah.
sure. So the only way to get rid of that is to
Mhm.
fully communicate.
Mhm. Communicate like every single thing you can think about. If so and so's giving you a hug, what if they go in for a kiss? Are y'all okay with kissing?
Yeah,
Um, friend, get your voice. Say the no, say no, thank you. Don't be intimidated by the men. Don't be intimidated by the women.
it is easier said than done.
It is very much easier said than done, but because I struggled with all of this, I am a very territorial, jealous person. I was super, super insecure. I only wanted my husband to touch me. I only wanted him around. when I was in the mood, lifestyle events and things would happen. But yeah, it is easier said than done, but that voice, that voice, yeah, you're gonna need it.
That Fran Drescher
Yeah,
voice.
you're gonna need that voice.
Also, practice receiving compliments. I know I said that earlier. That's a
Mhm.
big one
It
because
is.
you, as a woman, are going to receive a lot
Tons
of
from
compliments.
both men and
Yeah.
women.
Yeah. So, my job as the husband, I always felt like was to funnel compliments towards you. I get a ton of compliments about you. And my thing is, yeah, I know exactly what I have. Like, she's incredible.
Mhm.
To me, people are going to give you compliments. Well, I'm just going to be louder with my compliments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And any uncomfortableness that you have around people giving you compliments, I'm right there next to you going,
Yes.
I know, right? Isn't she amazing? And then before you know it, she's just taking compliments from me. So husbands, you can always
Step up your
be,
game.
be the blocker
Mhm.
for your
And
spouse.
you know what I was just thinking? Start slow. Y'all are there at the hotel takeover. Y'all can start making out. There's little
Yeah.
things you can do to make it hot and heavy,
Yeah, and
you know?
really, you guys can just be into each other
Mhm.
with the background
Yeah.
of all the sexiness. Like that's what we did oftentimes. Like sometimes we would go to house parties and we didn't want to play with anybody and we just were into each other and we went to a room and we had our fun, and that was the case a lot of times.
There is, yeah. You know what I do? I do a lot of tunnel vision. So someone says, "Man, you just walk around, you walk out and you're like all super confident." I'm tunnel visioned. I am I walk out of the bathroom in my lingerie or whatever, and I'm just like looking straight. I'll smile and then I'll just look straight at where Adam is and I can just see him. And so I'm just walking towards him.
And I'm usually staring at him.
Yeah. And so that's makes it super comfortable, but I get how you feel. I understand even without your husband delving into the what exactly is bothering you. I understand it all. It's a very hard it's a hard place to feel comfortable until you've done it a few times. After that, it gets super easy. After you make your group of friends, it's super easy. And it could just be one couple that y'all
Yeah,
really vibe with. It gets easier and it's so much fun.
it
Even
can
just
be.
just
Yeah.
being with my husband at places is knowing that it's a swinger place, it's a lifestyle place. It's
Yeah.
very hot.
Well, and just a quick message to my husbands out there. It's hard. It's hard when you're new in the lifestyle and you go in
Mhm.
as a couple. It is hard on the ego. It's hard on the psyche because you go in thinking, "Holy shit, I'm going to be able to have all this fun, and all these women are going to want me, et cetera, et cetera." And then you realize this is a very woman centric
Yes.
lifestyle
Yeah.
and everybody loves the woman and usually the husbands are kind of tossed off to the side and this is what I tell a lot of the guys in my groups is it's perception.
Mhm.
For many years I perceived it as nobody wants to talk to me, they just want my wife, and it was very sour and I didn't
Yes.
enjoy it. But then once I realized, hey, we're all after the same thing here, which is to have sex with women,
Yeah.
so obviously they're going to be after my wife. That kind of takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't feel like you have to be this performing monkey. You can just be yourself. And I noticed when I started relaxing and being myself, that's when I really started getting attention on my own.
Mhm.
So it really is just kind of figuring out what the game is and going
Yeah.
along with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't lose confidence.
Don't lose it.
Don't let it hit you.
It's gonna be perfectly fine. Take little baby steps. Keep that communication going. Talk about every feeling. Talk about every scenario.
Yeah.
Go out to a bar, wear something a little bit sexy. A regular bar, y'all 2 go out and let everybody stare.
Get used to
Get
the
used
idea
to
that
it.
people are staring at
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
And that's something that I had to tell my wife for many years because she used to get upset.
Oh,
She
man.
would walk out of the house looking friggin' hot, and then she would be at the grocery store and she would be ready to punch somebody out
You're like,
because
"What
they're
the
staring at
fuck,
her
man?"
chest. And I'm like, "Yo,
They're just
it's
tits.
it's a thing. Like
Yeah.
you look friggin' smoking hot. You're dressed the way you are. You're at the grocery store. What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah.
People are going to look. Now, if they come up to you and they touch you, well, that's a whole different story. But people are going to admire what they find attractive,
Yes.
and it's an absolute high compliment. it's just a
It
compliment.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's how I feel about all that.
I think we hit a lot of nails on the head.
I think we hit a lot of nails.
Yeah,
That's right.
I think so.
Yeah. And that's the quickie. So if this one hit home for you, share it with whomever you think. Send it to a couple who needs to hear it. You might literally change the direction of their relationship. That's
Oh, I
right.
like that. And if you haven't already, follow us wherever you listen. Leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and subscribe so you never miss an episode. It takes 30 seconds and it genuinely means everything to us.
Everything.
Yes.
And head over to www.beyond-monogamy.com. Every episode, every video clip, our blog, upcoming events, merch, and our 100% anonymous confessional are all right there. If you want to hang out with us, we are on fullswapradio.com every Thursday, 2 shows, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Central. Come get into it with us in real time.
And we have a live Beyond Monogamy event coming up, and we want you there. June 20th at Club Eden, San Antonio. We will be there. Come meet us. Come hang out with us.
Yeah,
You
we're
can
gonna
meet
be
the
there.
community, and it's going to be the best night. All details are going to be on our event tab. that he has
Yeah,
created.
it's an event that's currently in the process of being built, but we figured you can mark your calendars now.
Yes.
So the
June
details will be
20th.
coming out more as we go along. But June 20th, Club Eden, San Antonio, 9
Yeah.
p.m. Be there or be an
square.
orangutan. With that, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us as always, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.